warm welcome to all of you and a heartfelt namaste. I thank all of you for watching my videos, for writing in your comments, and giving your suggestions. Today, we are going to talk on a very sensitive topic, that is sexual exploitation, rape, abuse, etc. This is a topic that most of us shy from mentioning, and God forbid, if there's a case in the vicinity, it's always, more often than not, hidden under the carpet. Can we see this from our patrikas, from our natal chart? Is that a factor that can be decided in the chart? Yes, it can be seen. And for all those viewers, for all those uh, our YouTube watchers who have requested us, commented, and suggested that we make a video on this. Thank you so much. This episode, this video is dedicated to all of you. So, the topic that we are going to talk about today is sexual exploitation, rape, and abuse. What are the factors that we need to consider when we are talking about sexual exploitation? Mars and Venus are two planets that we really do need to look into. Mars is energy, Venus is attraction, Venus is beauty. When this combination is together, such a person has a great deal of attraction for the opposite gender or for any gender for that matter, and can also have a lot of energy expanding in that direction. What is the direction? Where will it apply itself, or where will it expand itself, can be seen from the house in the chart. When is given by the dasha, and how by the transit and the dasha together. Moreover, when we're talking about the dasha period, when we're talking about Mars, Mars is also the sexual energy in females. A retrograde Mars creates a craving of a very different kind in female, and that I have covered in one of my previous retrograde videos. When we talk about Venus, Venus is attraction, it is also the sperm in men, and a retrograde Venus can give heightened experience in that regard. As an example, for Mars and Venus together, we can take the chart of Sanjay Dutt, we can take the chart of Jeffrey Archer, where this combination is seen, and they have had it written in the biographies that they have had number of uh, relationships, and that has proved, their biography itself is a proof. When this Venus is in conjunction with Rahu, say in Elizabeth Taylor's chart, we know she had a number of marriages and she had more affairs than she could remember. So this Venus and Rahu, Venus is exalted in her chart. So this Venus and Rahu together gave her an appetite for, a very strong appetite for having different partners. Mars and Rahu together can give a similar attitude in a men's chart, as so far that I have seen in my readings. This is in excess, but when does it cross limits? When the second house of the perpetrator, or the person who is prone to doing this kind of activities, abusing people sexually, then second house of morals is definitely gone down or is afflicted. So when there is an affliction, when there is a planet which is not working in such a case, that is a planet which is afflicted, second house is afflicted, second lord is afflicted, or for that matter even the eighth house, because eighth house is hidden activities, secret activities. In western astrology, they also count the eighth house as the house of sexuality. So when this house is afflicted badly, such people would resort to these means, to these ugly kind of way of getting their needs fulfilled. So we need to see these houses. When we are talking about the sixth house, in case of the perpetrator, even now, the sixth house for them represents um, the peace or the love or daya, as in Hindi it is called, that is mercy. So when the sixth house does not have any benefic influence, when it is highly malefic. In such a case, when a person who is perpetuating this kind of a crime will show no mercy and will have absolutely no moral grounds, or wouldn't be thinking even twice to do go ahead and do this kind of an act. So these are the people we need to counsel. When we see in their charts that this is a possibility, we need to counsel them to move into the right direction. Now comes, so it's better to be safe than sorry. So when we see in our charts, or for that matter anybody else's chart, that the eighth house, again the eighth house has a malefic influence, the eighth lord is under malefic influence, then in such a case a person can also be at the receiving end. And even the 12th house, which is supposed to be the house of bed pleasures, if the 12th house is under malefic influence, in such a case a person can have a very nasty, or can have very many nasty experiences. The fourth house is the house of security, all kinds of security. When your security is breached, you are left unsecure, or you are open to all kind of nonsense in life. So the fourth house, when it goes under malefic influences, or is aspected, or there is a malefic posited there of a high degree, then this condition is also relevant. Finally, when we talk about nakshatras, in such a case we need to understand there are few nakshatras which absolutely show that this is a possibility. So when these nakshatras are afflicted, there can be two things. How does these afflictions happen? There could be a planet posited. Many times we see that a planet is posited, but a person does not see this kind of thing on all days or always. So when does it happen? There has to be a yoga, there has to be a dasha, and there has to be a transit to trigger off very, very important events in our lives. Things that lead a scar, or they leave a turning point in our life. With that, let us see what the nakshatras are. Those nakshatras are Kritika, Rohini, Mriksira. Then we also have Aslesha, we have Vishakha, we have Jeshta, Mula, and to a certain degree, Adra. Sadbhisha should also not be left unaccounted. Sadbhisha also forms under this rule. So let us take up the chart of Marlene Monroe. It is a known fact, it is written in a biography, that she was exploited as a child in a number of occasions. We see her eighth house. Her eighth house and her 12th house is both afflicted, because 12th house has Rahu and 8th house has Mars, again a malefic. When we are talking about malefics and benefics here, we are talking not about functional malefics and benefics, we are talking about natural malefics and benefics. Rahu, we all know, in the 12th house gives international fame, but what does it derive? What does it take in exchange? It can cause the kind of effect that we've just talked about. In Marlene Monroe's chart, Mars is with Jupiter, and Jupiter is a planet that gives protection. It would give her protection, but in that particular, it let us not forget that it is also the sixth lord of Prarabdha. Posited in the eighth house, there is a strong Vipreet Raj Yoga, but it would only happen after she has passed the test of fire, and she did, and she had to leave behind a lot of her past to move ahead. We see her Saturn. Her Saturn is there in is the eighth lord. It is posited in the nakshatra of Vishakha. Her Mercury and her Sun both are posited in Rohini nakshatra. So in all, we see a lot of those combinations present in her chart. Moreover, her Venus, which is present in the sign of Mars, and Mars is well posited in the eighth house, shows that she had the propensity, or she could have undergone a lot of problems. There could have been people hounding her for favors, and she could have had to succumb to them. So these are the combinations that we find in her chart. Another chart that I take up here is of a serial rapist. He's a person who had undergone a lot of trauma from his mother and sisters, and later on went to kind of have a bad effect. Because of his bad effect of women, he retaliated by raping women and killing them later. We see that his sixth lord, as I said, sixth house is all about the daya or the mercy. His sixth lord is present in the 12th house. Also, we see that his second house, that is the lord of second house of morals, is Mercury, which is present right there in the fourth house of securities, and we see it is in the nakshatra of Vishakha. Mercury and Venus both are in Vishakha nakshatra, which shows retrograde Mercury and Venus, a very distorted way of thinking and highly aroused state of mind, probably because a lot of neglect and because of a lot of assault on him as a child. And we also see that his Mars is also in Jeshta nakshatra along with his moon. So his psyche, his mentality was all about perpetuating the crime. Also, his Ketu is in Jeshta nakshatra. The second lord is in a nakshatra that is very much addicted. There could have been a point in his life where he found no guilt, no shame in doing what he was, and he was so accustomed to all those facts. We take up the chart of another criminal, that is Alan Dennis. Alan Dennis's mother ran a brothel and brought her boys up with the fact that this was a common way of life. We look at his sixth house. His sixth house and the 12th house are both on a Rahu Ketu axis, with the sixth house in Sadbhish Nakshatra. As I said, that the Sadbhish Nakshatra cannot be ruled out. It is also a very strong point where this kind of activity, if afflicted, can be seen. Rahu and Moon both. Moon represents your mind. So his mind frame did never show mercy, either in behaving immorally with women or to the point of selling them in an open market. And the 12th house harbors Mars on a Rahu Ketu axis. So we see his 6th and the 12th house both are extremely distorted. Again, we see that his second lord is debilitated. His in the second house is a debilitated sun. Talks so much about very a person who has absolutely no moral ethics on that ground. His need to do whatever he has to do to earn money is very well justified by his debilitated 12th lord. We see Jupiter, a retrograde Jupiter, aspecting his debilitated second lord, which is again in a Pap Kartari. So we see that the second lord is absolute, and the second house both are very well, very badly afflicted, where the sense of moral value is totally gone. Finally, I take the chart of Louis Hay, a very well known personality who went through a lot of trauma in life but emerged a victor. And she was the one who founded the Hay House Foundations, for all who know, and it became a multi million, if I'm not mistaken, $1 billion company later on. So she, from her chart, we see Saturn is sitting in Vishakha Nakshatra. We see her sixth house. Though 6 and 12 houses, as I said, is on a Rahu Ketu axis. 12th house shows that she could have had bad experiences as relating to bed pleasures. It gave her an international name, but as we all know, there is no such thing as free lunch. What it extracted as a price was abuse during her childhood days. The fifth house, showing childhood gaiety, love, and peace, and lot of happiness, is all destroyed with this placement of Saturn and a retrograde Mars afflicting it, though it aspects its own house. So that is why probably she came back up again, bounced back, and became a publisher of repute. In this day and age, when we see a lot of nonsense happening around us, we need to be careful. If we have these combinations in the chart, god forbid none of us have it, but if we do, then we need to be careful with our own selves, because a small bit of safety goes a long deal. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay tuned. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Till we meet again.